Most questions that I get asked in Ghana, number one, is whether Ghanaian men are romantic. And number two, how it is like to be married to a Ghanaian man. In this video, I'm going to show you my experience of being married to a Ghanaian man. So just to give you a little backstory, I met my husband in 2013. That was like 11 years ago. We dated for a long time. In 2022, we decided to get married. I come from Iran and he comes from Ghana. I think these two cultures are very different and at the same time very similar. First of all, I have only dated one Ghanaian man. So my experience definitely is very limited. I cannot talk for everyone. Ghana is like a big country. You cannot generalize everyone. I'm just saying from my experience of living here and things that I've seen around myself, this is the observations that I have had. I'm not saying that everyone is like that. If they are romantic or not, Ghanaian men are romantic, but in their own way. And what I mean by that, they show you affection in a way that they have been taught. In my experience, when Ghanaian men want to show you the affection, they maybe tease you, or maybe they would offer you a service. By service, I mean like, should I come and pick you up? Or should I book you a taxi? Should I buy you food? I don't know. Or they would maybe buy you a new clothes. I think that that's the way that they show that they care about you. Because if they don't care about you, they won't do that. Like, as simple as that. What I had to kind of adjust to was that not my version or Hollywood version of romance work here. I think that if we have romantic African movies, and I've watched a few, it's not the kind of romantic that you expect. Is like, I don't know, maybe a husband that is so angry all the time, and then by the end of the movie he realized that it's not good to be angry at his wife. That's the romance. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just different. Ghanaian society is a very preserved society. They are not a lot like showing romantic, physical, emotional stuff outside their house. Like, you barely see in Ghana that like a couple are holding hands. There was a time we went to a hospital, I was feeling sick, and my husband was like putting his arm around my shoulder. And there was this auntie who passed by and she gave us like this really bad look. If you do those affection, kind of physical affection in public, you might get the looks. So when I first dated my now husband, I remember I was expecting him to do everything in the Iranian way, you know. I don't know, I don't really know what I was expecting, but maybe something like a more poetic relationship. Him buying me flowers, him writing me a very sweet message. He would always text me like, where they? He they home? He they school? So I feel like the expectation was very different from what I received. Though throughout our relationship, I have kind of made him adjust to my love for receiving flowers. So here and there, he buys me flowers, but it's not something that is very common in Ghana. I wouldn't say that you would see a man walking in the street with his bouquet going to give it to his girlfriend. You barely see it. Roles and responsibilities in the Ghanaian society is very clear. As a man, these are my responsibilities. As a woman, these are my responsibilities. And everyone kind of obeys that. I think if you want to get into that culture, you have to remember that the person might do a lot of things because of his responsibilities that he's been taught. So the men, let's say in dating or marriage, a lot of times the financial burden is on them. I don't know if you call it burden, but like financial side is on them. If you are a guy in Ghana and you go out with your girlfriend, there is nothing like 50-50. There is nothing like she pays and you maybe treat her next time. It's your responsibility to pay. But what is more interesting, and I've seen it with my own eyes many times, you have the girlfriend and you have like 5 friends of the girlfriend. And the guy is paying for everybody at the table. In a lot of cases, because the guys know that they are responsible to take care of the cost of that food, they try to minimize their personal order and let the girl order more. I just feel like it puts a lot of pressure on both sides, because I feel like on the guy's side, he has to like make sure that he's financially stable to even go on a date with a girl. And on the girl side, I also feel like there would be a lot of competition, because let's say you see your friend having a guy that takes her to this fancy restaurant, you also want that from your boyfriend. So if you don't get it, you might be a bit disappointed. So I feel like it's good and it's bad at the same time. And I've noticed that every time we go out, no matter where, the waiter always takes the bill to my husband. They never offer me the bill. Sometimes I get really irritated by that. I would also say that you don't see couples fighting in the pub. Like all the years I've lived here, I cannot remember that I've seen any fights, like a couple fight outside. And like a lot of times when I look at people being on a date at a restaurant or at the beach, is normally like very quiet. Like the both sides are super quiet. So if you are a foreigner, I feel like it might take a bit of adjustment to adjust to the fact that maybe they don't like to talk all the time, or especially when you're eating. I've noticed Ghanaians don't like to talk. Like when it's food time, it's food time. So you have to adjust to the fact that, okay, like I know in many culture, like especially European culture, is like a lot of like talking on the on the table, right? But here is the opposite. So you have to see how you can adjust with all of that, adjust to all of that. So something that I feel like you have to know before you start thinking serious of a relationship here is that there's a saying that says if you marry someone, you're marrying his family. I think in Ghana, if you're marrying someone, you're marrying his village. What I mean by that is that you're marrying his whole community. You're not only marrying his like atomic family. You are marrying the cousin, the auntie, and the uncle. Like everyone will be involved kind of in your marriage. And it's up to you how to manage it. But I just feel like it might be a shock that, let's say, a cousin of cousin of cousin is getting married and they want you, like you as a couple, to contribute to the wedding. Or someone, auntie, passes away and you have to contribute, whether it's financial or whether you have to be there to make sure that the funeral or the wedding or whatever function is going well. So I feel like everyone feels like now you're part of the extended family. You're not just a part of family. So if you're dating someone that you don't like his family, maybe, I'm just telling you that it's not going to be only his family. It's going to be his extended family. So really think about whether or not you can be okay with that. And I think that's something that I really thought about before I got married. It was really important to me whether or not I can be with my husband's family. I think in my case, I was happy. I was okay. I knew his cousins. I knew everybody in his family and I was fine with them. I love them and they love me. So it's like a mutual, connection. It was okay in my case, but I have seen many cases that it's not okay and it's very difficult for the party that is not from here. Let's say you get married, right? Like, or you are planning to get married. Know that the whole tradition of like getting married here is quite different. And I think it was a real huge shock to me of like how many things we had to deal with when it came to the wedding. Even wedding, I think I have another video where I explained everything that happened throughout our wedding. But I feel like after the wedding is when it really hit you. Like it really hits you that you have to adjust to a lot of things, because it's very normal in Ghanaian society to ask you like, oh, so when are you getting pregnant? Or, oh, you gained, like let's say I gained weight at some point, and a lot of people were like, oh, you must be pregnant, like assuming you're pregnant, and it really hurts when you gain weight and you're trying to, calm yourself down and says, no, it's just a few kg you've gained. And someone says, oh, you're pregnant. And this might be the controversial part. So I'm just letting you know, again, this is my perspective. If you think that it's against your perspective or you disagree with it, you can maybe chill or scroll or whatever that works for you. But I'm just saying my opinion. I have seen a lot of relationships over the past 5 years that I've lived here between foreigners and Ghanaians. Some have felt like it's not genuine. If you are coming from a country that has a strong passport, meaning that the value of your passport is so high that you can travel to so many countries, or you don't need visa for so many countries. I think you should understand that that's what a lot of people want in any third world country. When you know that and you know this is the reality, you kind of don't believe everything, right? You believe things that really feel right in your heart. I've seen a lot of cases where one side was not genuine. Let me see how I put it in the best way. I think Ghanaian men are good with work. And I've seen it in workplace, I've seen it in the streets, I've seen it with everybody around me. And because they have this power in the way they use words, it's quite possible that you hear what you want to hear. So I just think that you have to be cautious of that. I'm not saying but don't trust Ghanaian men. Come on, I'm married to a Ghanaian man. I'm just saying that if something doesn't feel right in your heart and it's just sweet to your ears, you should double think it. Another thing that might be something that you might think about before getting married is the faith. I think that the faith is stronger here. So if you get married and you are not following that religion or that faith, it might be a bit difficult because the difference is just too much. And you have to, come on, if you're marrying someone with that mindset, you have to make sure that you can respect and accept that mindset. So I feel like that's kind of a difficult part for many foreigners. So, on my Instagram, most of the people that follow me are from my country, Iran. And it's very interesting that since I started making content on Instagram, I receive a lot of messages that, like they're chatting with someone online from Ghana, the person loves them, and everything is going great, but this happened, I don't know. Normally stuff that I know that maybe the person is not genuine. I don't want to go into details. It makes me think that maybe another tip would be that if you are planning to start a serious relationship with someone from Ghana, it's good to be here, stay with the person for, as long as you can, to kind of be sure that everything, your relationship is in order, you're on the same page. Just don't have that quick decision because you heard something online. But I don't want to also neglect all the good things that I see here that I think maybe you might not find elsewhere. I feel like there's something with Ghanaians as a nation. I'm not saying men or women. I think they are firm on what they want. If they want something, they want it. They get it. That's a good thing to know that you are with someone that would try his best to have you. I think also they care too much about the appearance, which is really good. You don't have to worry about your boyfriend or your husband not to dress up well, because most Ghanaians dress up really well. I would say Ghanaian men, 9 out of 10 always smell really good. I'm saying it in a polite way. I'm not saying I go around sniffing men, but anytime I'm outside or anytime you're at a party, all you smell is good perfume. So I would say that's a good thing. I also think that they don't have a lot of insults in their cursing in their language. You can kind of be sure that you can take this person to your parents and be sure that he doesn't say any, cursing in his words that you have to, censor for your family. I think they're good at first impression. I don't know how to put it, but sometimes, you see someone and instantly you don't like them. I feel like it has barely happened to me in Ghana, that I see someone and I'm like, eh. I feel like because most people always have a smile, they give this good first impression. So I think these are my general ideas, or let's say my advices. I hope it helps you. I hope you're calm and chill. Write me in the comments what your experience has been, because I'm eager to know. I hopefully will see you in the next video. Bye.